heavyweight division is in a state of transition, with the old guard on its way out and exciting new contenders queuing up to take their place. For some, this transition will be painful, for others it will be glorious, but who is likely to profit and who is likely to lose out? Speaking of profit, let's start with the elephant in the room. Yes, Anthony Joshua, two-time unified world champion and Olympic champion, is actually fighting Jake Paul. I'm sure the opinion of many will be fair play to AJ for taking the bag for knocking out an annoying celebrity. However, in my opinion, it is a real shame. In a sport in theory that should be all about virtue, character and a genuine fair fight, this is the opposite. And for AJ, who so many, particularly in the UK, looked up to as a role model for discipline, bravery and humility, it feels as though he's given up on himself as a genuine contender. Again, he is his own man, well within his own rights to make his own decisions, but I can't help but feel as though it's a really bad look, once again when it comes to Jake Paul, for the sport. On to brighter news, top prospect Moses Itauma continues to fly through the ranks at just 21 years of age, fresh off a first round stoppage of Dillian Whyte. Early in the new year, Moses will face the tough American Jermaine Franklin, who went the distance with both Whyte and Joshua in 2022 and 2023 respectively. The plan for promoter Frank Warren will no doubt be to get Itauma some rounds, which Franklin should in theory provide. However, with how ice cold and ruthless Itauma has been to date, theory and reality may well be different. Itauma is so precise with his work, expertly applying feints and switching to head and body in order to find gaps in his opponent. This makes him an incredibly frightening prospect, and one that will no doubt be competing right at the top end of the division before long. Further up the current rankings, there is Daniel Dubois, coming off the back of a 5th round knockout defeat to Alexander Usyk in July. However, Dubois remains a huge force in the heavyweight division, boasting a win over Jarrell Miller, Filip Hrgović and Anthony Joshua. There is talk of an IBF title eliminator versus Frank Sanchez in the new year, although with the way the heavyweight division is shaping up, there may well be an even bigger fight on the horizon. Agit Kabayel has elected to sit on his excellent position since his sensational victory over Zhilei Zhang in February, breaking down the giant with relentless body shots. Next up for Kabayel will be a homecoming to Germany versus the Polish fighter Damian Konik for the WBC interim title. Providing he secures victory, this would put Kabayel right at the front of the pack when it comes to a crack at Alexander Usyk next. If that wasn't to come off, another huge fight would no doubt be in the pipeline, with names such as Daniel Dubois being associated with Kabayel in the past. The other huge news for the heavyweight division is the new WBO heavyweight champion, Fabio Wardley. This is a real fairy tale story for Fabio, but incredibly well deserved. He's constantly improving and fighting against the odds. His recent victory versus Joseph Parker really epitomised his role as the ultimate underdog, but also one of the most dangerous punchers in the division. The victory over Parker made him mandatory for a shot at Usyk. However, Usyk relinquished his title, seeking a different fight, elevating Wardley to champion status. His first defence will likely come in early 2026, with Filip Hrgović or a huge domestic clash versus Daniel Dubois both possibilities. As for Joseph Parker, he is suddenly in a terrible position, having tested positive for traces of cocaine on the day of the Wardley fight. I do believe in Parker's innocence, but even the length of a forthcoming investigation to clear his name will take him right out of the picture for now. Of course, the real key to the division is what Alexander Usyk decides to do next. Based off the rankings, right now, in theory the next opponent should either be Agit Kabayel or Moses Itauma. I don't believe Usyk will see Kabayel as a big enough fight, similar to Wardley. The Itauma fight is incredibly interesting. If Moses secures 1 or 2 more big wins, his hype will go through the roof. He's already seen as the heir apparent, having been compared to a young Mike Tyson. Providing Usyk sticks around for long enough, we may well just get to see this dream fight in time. However, I get the feeling that the ideal scenario for Usyk would be a money-spinning trilogy versus either Anthony Joshua or Tyson Fury. Fury is technically retired, but his name refuses to go away for now. And Joshua is always going to do huge numbers. It shouldn't be the case that either man gets another crack at Usyk, but in boxing money does talk. Personally, although showing no signs of decline yet, I'd love to see Usyk retire and ride off into the sunset with nothing left to prove. We've seen time and time again over the years that boxing is incredibly difficult to walk away from before it's too late. There's no doubt that Usyk is the best of this era and maybe even one of the best ever. To walk away with his legacy and health fully intact would be the ultimate move, making way for the next generation of heavyweights to make their mark. As always, let me know what you think, and I'll see you all again soon.